To create an external reference, we need to establish a connection to an existing file. In this lesson, we'll explore how to link to a drawing. Just for a second, let's assume that we are interior designers and we are helping an architect design a proposed restaurant. Let's also assume that the architect has finished the floor plan and they have asked us to do the furniture layout for the building. Rather than inserting the floor plan drawing into my file, I'm going to externally reference it. That way, if the floor plan drawing changes, I will see those changes reflected in my drawing. To externally reference the floor plan, I'm going to select the Insert tab, and then in the Reference panel, I'll click Attach. Now AutoCAD can reference many different types of files. So in the Files of Type menu, I'll make sure that DWG is selected, and then in the Exercise Files folder, inside the linking DWG's directory, I'm going to select the number 02 Floor Plan Drawing, and I'll click Open. External references are a lot like blocks. In fact, you can see the same 3 questions right here. Typically, when we reference a file, we want to leave all of those boxes unchecked, because we want the geometry coming in to be in the same location, size and rotation as the original file. Since this is linked and not inserted geometry, I can use the Path Type menu to tell AutoCAD how I want this drawing to remember the path back to the linked file. I'm going to select Relative, the default option, and I'll click OK. At this point, I can see the linked geometry on my screen. If I hover over this, AutoCAD will tell me it's an external reference. If I select it, we can see that AutoCAD treats an external reference as a single object. Think of this as being a lot like a smart block that represents the current state of the linked file. I'm going to press Escape to deselect, and at this point I can start drawing right over the top of this geometry. If we were an interior designer, we would probably start inserting some furniture. I'm going to jump to the Home tab. I'll click the Insert button, and as an example, I'm going to insert a booth. I'd like AutoCAD to ask me for the insertion point. I'll leave the other 2 boxes unchecked, and I'll click OK, and I'll place the booth in the northwest corner of the building. Now I'm going to select this block and I'll press Delete. In an effort to save time, I have already designed a furniture layout for this building. The reason we can't see the geometry is because the layers are currently turned off. One way we can quickly turn on all the layers in this drawing is by opening the Layers panel and click the Turn All Layers On button. Now let's simulate a change. Maybe the architect would like to move the entrance to the northwest corner of the building. That change will need to be made in the floor plan file. The quickest way to access that drawing would be to select the reference, and then in the Contextual Ribbon tab, I'll click the Open Reference button. This takes me right to the floor plan file. From here, I'll select the Stretch command and I'll select the door geometry. I'm going to pick it up from the upper right corner, and my ortho is locked, and I'll drag this up to the northwest corner. When I'm finished, I'll do a zoom extents, and then I'll save the drawing. Now let's press Ctrl Tab to flip back to the other drawing. AutoCAD lets us know that our reference geometry has changed. I'll click the hyperlink to update the floor plan in this file, and it's obvious that I need to make some changes to the layout of my furniture. Now, in an effort to keep the exercise files consistent, I like to put things back the way they were. So I'll press Ctrl Tab to go back into the floor plan drawing, and then I'll open the menu next to the Undo button, and we'll back up to the point right before we move the door. I'll then click Save. I'll close this drawing, and then I'll reload the reference. As you can see, by linking drawings together, edits can be applied to multiple files at one time. From now on, keep your eyes open for geometry that is duplicated in multiple drawings. By externally referencing this geometry, you can save yourself hours of unnecessary editing time.